Okay, so we've officially infected more people than tuberculosis. That's kind of the first big milestone of the game, showing you that you've created something that's pretty nasty. Now, one nice thing about these messages coming up is it pauses the action, so you can pop some of these bubbles if they've kind of gotten out of hand, as they did there. So we've also reached the point where it's going to let us know that the world menu has some interesting information in it that can be helpful to progressing in the game. We can actually bring that up without unpausing the game, which is kind of cool. You can see here, these are all the different countries that the plague has infected or reached. You can see this is the percentage of the world's population that's been infected. You see we don't even have a percent yet. You can see what, if any, scientific efforts being put into stopping the plague and progress they're making as a result of that. Right now we're still very much under the radar, which is good, and it'll give us the opportunity to continue to spread for a while. So at a certain point, the more developed countries will start taking note of the fact that something is going on, and they'll start actually throwing some scientific resources at trying to stop you. The easiest way to deal with that initially is to evolve your plague so that it is resistant to drugs. And the first thing you do to do that is on this same screen where we did the cold resistance. You see we have the drug resistance. So we can go ahead and pop that. Which leaves us a little bit of extra DNA to play with. I think I may go to cold resistance 2 at this point too, just to make sure we can get into some more parts of the world that we otherwise wouldn't be able to reach. And let's see what we can do with those upgrades. Okay, so we've officially gotten onto the world's radar as a disease. And that means we're going to start attracting the attention of the scientists, but it will probably still be a while before any serious research effort gets started. Give me that DNA. Alright, so we've infected more people than HIV. That's good? I don't know, this game always gives me mixed feelings. But I definitely appreciate a lot of what they're doing here from a mechanical perspective. It's a very engaging experience playing this game for the most part. So you can see here, Egypt has officially started working on the cure. It would have been nice had we been able to fly under the radar a little bit longer, but with that hemophilia symptom manifesting as early as it did, not surprised that the cure has already started to be constructed. Oh man, now we got tumors manifesting. This isn't good. This thing is mutating much faster than I would prefer, given the degree to which it's spread. Yeah, that's not good. Those tumors are gonna really amp up people's awareness. Oh man, we've already got people dying. That's really not good. That's really not good. So usually I would be much further along in infecting the world with a bacteria before you would see people actually dying from it. So we're gonna have a heck of a time pulling off a win here, just because we've kind of made the world aware of us a little too early. But viruses are extremely infectious, so it may be possible that even though we've tipped our hand here, we may still be able to get a big chunk of the world infected. The problem is now we may be killing people off faster than we're infecting them in some parts of the world, and that will definitely hurt our chances of being able to win this scenario. In retrospect, I probably should not have equipped that gene to increase the mutation frequency on the virus. The virus probably mutates plenty fast on its own. Alright, so Egypt has shut down its airport, but it's way too late for that to matter. We did manage to get into some of these colder climates up here, which I'm pretty excited about, because usually that's one of the hardest parts of the game, is infecting Canada and Greenland and places like that. I think it is time for us to spend some more DNA, though. What I want to do here is increase our viruses. No, I don't think we want to increase the instability per se. I think we're probably good on that front. I think we probably just want to keep working on making this thing as infectious as possible at this point. So I think what we want to do is get it into the blood. So you'll probably notice that certain countries are not really gaining a lot of infected people quickly, and that's because they have good healthcare systems. So one of the things we have to do in our abilities section is actually make our virus less susceptible to different classes of antibiotics. So we're going to go ahead and evolve that, and I'm also going to evolve this genetic hardening to slow down the research effort a bit, and hopefully that'll buy us some time. I'm having to pop some of these abilities a little faster than I would like, because I'm very conscious of the fact that we're in a race against the clock here, trying to get this infection spread before the cure gets created. Okay, so we got a combo, which is kind of cool, where when you have insomnia and anemia causing people to walk around gray with tiredness, scientists working on the cure for Oogie Boogie are less productive. So that's pretty cool. We've become more infectious than the common cold. That's a good sign. That will help our cause. Where's that bubble? There we are. Oh man. Another symptom mutation. If people weren't worried before, they're going to be real worried now. Let's see what that symptom actually did for us. Oh, that doesn't look good. I think that's a bad one. Oh yeah. Rapid internal bleeding and death. Yeah, that's not good. That is not a good prize. We're in trouble here. I think our plague has run amok, and we're gonna have a heck of a time getting this thing spread before it kills everybody that it's infected. Yeah, see, here's the problem. So now we're killing people faster in the US than we're infecting them, so that's gonna cripple the spread of the plague. So I think that's bad. It's really, a lot of this game is about managing the symptoms so that the mutations don't occur faster than the spread of the disease. So I think because of that, we may have reached a situation here where we're not going to be able to win this scenario. Oh yeah. Killing the Black Death. So I think our only real hope here at this point is to just throw everything we have DNA-wise into transmission methods and hope that we can just get it into as many people as possible, as quickly as possible, so that we can just make up for the fact that it kills people quickly with getting it into people quickly. So we're going to get it in every form of wildlife that we can. I think basically now we're maxed out on transmission methods. It's just that we may have to improve some of these methods if some of them become ineffective at some point. Okay, we've been placed on the WHO watch list, which means the world is going to get real serious real quick about coming up with a cure. The sweating symptom's actually not too bad. That's just going to increase the infection rate without actually making it any scarier than it already is. Looks like Mexico is going to be the one working on the cure, so we're going to have to keep an eye on this part of the map for bubbles popping up that are going to have cure research in them, which we can pop to try to slow things down a bit. Pretty much as soon as those bubbles pop up, you want to try to get rid of them. Grab that DNA while this is paused. And it's basically telling us the different ways that we can fight the cure research. We want to either pop the bubbles or add abilities to the virus to make it more resistant to the cure. We're going to do both of those things. Oh, skin lesions. Oh, these symptoms are out of control. These symptoms are totally out of control. Now that they've started actually actively working on the cure, let's go ahead and try to slow them down a bit more with another genetic hardening. We're going to try to really make this thing just jump around as much as possible, because we've got to spread it more quickly if we're going to have a shot here. Oh man, these symptoms are just coming faster than I can keep up with them. A big problem here is we have not gotten a foothold in a lot of these colder climates, so that's going to be rough. Let me see if there's anything I can do about that. Let me see if I unlock these heat evolutions. Yeah, this might make it more resilient in all climates, and that might be what we need to crack the colder climates with a virus. %25 complete on the cure. We just got another symptom. Let's wait for this bubble to pop, and then we'll try to slow them down. We've killed more people than smallpox, which is scary. Let's go ahead and do another genetic resequence. Hopefully that'll slow their research down a bit. Oh! Okay, we've managed to infect up north. That's good. Immune suppression. Oh man, the dominoes are just falling now. The dominoes are falling big time. I'm actually going to hold on as long as I can to the remaining DNA that I have, because we're reaching the point in the game now where I'm not going to be getting a lot more of it, so I have to be really careful what I spend it on at this point. Balkan states begin to break down. That's a good sign. That's going to hinder working on the cure. Man, we are spreading like wildfire. Do you see how quickly we just took out Greenland there? We actually might have a shot at this at the rate that we're going. Let's take a look at the world map. Oh man, we've just about infected everybody and we are dropping people like flies. This actually could happen. Inflammation. Man, we just got symptoms rampaging at this point. No cure for you. Okay, so we've literally infected everybody on the planet at this point. That's actually kind of surprising, but I guess just from having so many infection methods, we just beat it down with sheer virility. No. Alright, and we have enough DNA at this point that we can really try to slow this research down even more. So we'll pop that. And let's go to the world map. Oh yeah, everybody's just going down real quick. They're only 50% of the way to the cure, not even 50% of the way, and people are going down real fast. I think we may have done this. People are seizing, that's not good for them. That's real good for us, to be clear. Let's go ahead and take our last genetic reshuffle to slow down the cure research. Pop our DNA. So they've managed to fully sequence the genome, but I think it's going to be too late. I don't think they have enough time. Oh yeah. We're crushing it. We're crushing this. I think we've slowed them down sufficiently that they're not going to have enough time or people to survive. So we do have a little bit of extra DNA left at this point, and I think since everybody's already infected, we just want to drop people as quickly as possible at this point. So I think what we may do is take one of these more aggressive symptoms and just pop it, just to speed things up a little bit. I think maybe we'll go with paralysis, because that seems like a bad thing. It's hard to do research on something when you can't move. You know what I'm saying? And then, let's see what else we got here. Total organ failure seems pretty cool, right? But we don't have enough for that. But let's just put them all into comas. There, you're all in comas now. Oh man, this game, it gives me such mixed feelings. I like doing well in games, but man, this is creeping me out. Oop, no you don't. None of that. Okay, got our systemic infection. We got that for free. We didn't even have to buy that. There can't be that many more people left at this point. Oh yeah, we're down to the wire. We got 99% of them. Cure research isn't even halfway yet. So, I think we got this. I think we got this. There's no way that there's enough people left to come up with a cure before they drop. With all of these symptoms, I mean, look at the crazy amount of symptoms we have unlocked here. It's just kind of bonkers. No cure. I think at this point we're just waiting for the inevitable. And you can see that little blue plane that's flying around lets you know where the research bubbles are going to appear. So if you kind of follow that around, you can kind of get a jump on those and pop them as quickly as possible. So you see it's flying out over here. So I know at some point there's a bubble that's going to appear along that path, and then it's going to go back to the country that's heading up the research, so you can kind of anticipate that bubble appearing and just pop it immediately. Oh, total organ failure. No! Everybody's screwed! We just about got everybody. It's over. It is so over. So again, let's just take a quick look through these tabs, and you guys can see what I actually did to do this. Every transmission method available, but only pumped up blood and livestock transmission to the next level. Then we got all of these symptoms pretty much we got through mutations, except for those two that we threw in at the end. And then we did all of the hardening against the elements. And actually, this was something that threw me off a little bit because when I was playing with the bacteria earlier, this section for bacteria does additional hardening against different climates, but how you have to deal with that with the virus is you actually have to unlock the cold and the hot to get the total elemental resistance option, because this stuff here would have just made more mutations faster, and that's not necessarily what we wanted in this scenario. Stop trying to live. I mean, I get it. I would be trying to live too if I were you, but yeah, there it is. I think that's pretty much going to do it for me for this video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I will definitely be covering this game more extensively when it's actually finished and when they add more features such as the co-op, which I'm very much looking forward to. But I think even in its current state, it's a pretty fun, interesting, and morbidly entertaining game. I don't know. It's one of those games where when I play it, I have to not think about what I'm doing too hard, or it kind of freaks me out a little bit. But I think just from a strictly objective analysis of the gameplay and the mechanics of it, it's a pretty solid, pretty worthy thing to spend your time playing. So if you can deal with the subject matter and it doesn't freak you out, I'd say this is a pretty good game. It's something to keep an eye on, especially as it makes its way out of early access and into the world of actual finished shipping games. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more from me in the future, be sure to hit subscribe, and I will see you next time.